I do remember the day. I just came to terms, okay, I don't think anyone would really mind me not being here. I wrote a letter to my mom apologizing. I had just given up all hope on myself, and I just felt like maybe this world would have been better had I not been here. When I woke up, I did not know what to do with myself because I thought I made the decision and I failed dying by suicide. I was kind of told this is not how your life is supposed to end. I thought I heard someone say to me, like, now you have to go help other people who are struggling too. I was born in a small town in Connecticut. My mom had left a very abusive relationship prior when she found out she was pregnant with me, hoping to give me a better life. I was a very sensitive kid, very overstimulated by lights and sounds, people, and very attuned to people's emotions. I always felt like it was my fault when something would go wrong. I would look at people, see their facial expressions, and think it's my problem to fix. I had only met my dad once in my life, which was my fourth birthday, and it kind of instilled this idea that people would be better off without me because I could see in his eyes that he wanted my mom, but he did not want me. When I did turn 13, I was out to dinner with my mom and my grandmother unintentionally blurted out that I did have two siblings from my dad's side. And growing up as in a single parent home, as an only child with not really any understanding of my father, I felt very alone and confused why I would not know about these siblings. And so I was on a hunt to find them. I had a very busy brain, very overstimulated by things, so I put all my effort into all the things that I did. So dance, Girl Scouts, after school clubs, volunteering, drama, all the things that kind of kept me busy, kept me focused. And I think I was trying to avoid some of the things that were going on in my life, my traumas that I was coming to the surface. In my junior year of high school, a friendship, my childhood best friend and I just separated. I really didn't understand what happened. We were sitting in chemistry class and she was just not talking to me. She wouldn't sit with me at lunch. I did have another friend group that I was hanging out with, but I just didn't understand why. I had a relationship that crumbled in front of me, and it kind of fueled the thoughts of like, you're not worth being here. People are better off not being here with you. You're a burden. And I couldn't really tell anybody. I held it in for a few weeks, and then around Easter time, I finally came to my mom and said, okay, I'm really struggling here. I tried to kill myself in the bedroom right next to you, and you didn't even know. And that's when she said, okay, we're gonna go to the school psychologist and see if we can get you connected to therapy. I started therapy, and I was put on medication to help me with the depressive symptoms, but I didn't really feel like it was getting me very far. My senior year of high school, I tried attempting my life again. This time I was sent to the hospital and I was inpatient, and then was put in a partial hospitalization program for teenagers. So during that time, I didn't like to talk about myself and my problems, and the psychologist who was running the group said, you're going to take over my job, because I kept trying to facilitate the conversation instead of talking about myself. And then she started asking me questions about my life, and she started using the term hypervigilance, and she started using the words trauma, and it started to click for me. There was one time that I was connected to a trauma therapist to do eye movement desensitization reprocessing, EMDR, and that was what helped me tremendously. I graduated from high school. I had to give up the goal of going to Hofstra University. I had gotten a merit scholarship to go there. And I had to put my health first. I had to invest in my mental health first before I could do anything. And I was working as a pharmacy technician. That's where I met my husband. In and out of the hospital a couple times just to kind of get myself back on my feet. And then was told about this type of therapy called EMDR. And when I went for that type of trauma therapy, I started to learn more about the root of what was causing me to feel so unhappy. And then I moved out of my mom's house, and that also changed the trajectory of my life, because getting out of my mom's house and moving into a little bit larger city, living independently, taught me those life skills that I needed to be able to just be on my own feet and take care of myself and live life on purpose with purpose. My husband is adopted, and so when we first started dating, he encouraged me to try to see if I could find my brothers. And long story short, I did find them, one of them on Facebook, and it took him a year to recognize that I sent him a message on Facebook. And we connected. And instead of being met with that rejection that I had when I met my dad at 4 years old, I was met with an embrace. So I went to college, I was working, I was living on my own, and then I saw a position for a peer specialist position. It intrigued me because it was asking people not about their education background, but actually having some type of lived mental health experience, and that was new for me to kind of take a step in. So I worked for a couple years as a certified peer support specialist, working with young adults actually. There's a lot of risk with being a leader. When you openly talk about your own mental health, you risk the stigma and judgment of others. And sometimes I also call it imposter syndrome, where I don't know if I'm really qualified, because experts might be people with PhDs, but I've learned over time that my lived experience is just as valid and valuable. Some of the benefits also is you get to network and connect with people, get to know them on a more intimate level than just, this is my job, this is my role. I have calls all the time from families in crisis, and when after the call is over, they already feel a sense of relief, and that is very validating for me. Some of the tools is that I do carry some of the things that people say, especially if they're going through a really tough time. I can relate to that, and I have to make sure that I don't take what I'm hearing at work with me at home, because I don't want it to impact my own personal life as well. On my list of reasons to stay alive, it has changed throughout the years. It used to be that I used to live for my cat. Now I live for my husband, my son, my family. I live for the work that I do. I don't want to be hypocritical and educate people about mental health and suicide and end my life. I have lost a couple of colleagues to suicide, and they were incredible champions for suicide prevention. So not to disregard what happened with them, but I do know that if I can keep moving forward, being a role model to other people, passing legislation, things that help people, that's one of my lists of reasons why. Another thing too that I think about is that suicide is a permanent decision or a permanent action to a temporary feeling. So if I'm in a state of distress, I know that I'm not in my right mind, and I know that logically I wouldn't want to die. I just feel like I want to die. So if I can think about, okay, if I can get through this next moment, or the situation that might have brought up, or the trauma memory that came up for me, I've survived it before. I don't think I would change anything in my life, because every moment, every situation I've been in has taught me something about myself. And I had wanted to become a genetic counselor, but that was not my path. I didn't ask for the traumas that happened to me, but it has brought me closer to people who've also experienced it. I also think that I would be a totally different person if I had lived a different life. I would not be here talking to you today.
Beneath the shadows of this quiet town, I see you there, your feathers on the ground. Your eyes are heavy with the weight What's in a life you never could offer? Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound. You were made to soar amongst the clouds, but never learn to rise above these crowds. Stuck in the dust of the life that you found, with nowhere to go, no higher ground. Even if you never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more. Don't let your worries weigh you down, down, down. You can still take flight, although you're earthbound.